Hi, I'm Michelle. Welcome back to Finally Revealed. In today's video, I want to talk about ways that people blow their interview for a job. Some of these I have witnessed in person, others I have heard about, and they're all easy fixes. Usually they're caused by someone who's nervous or shows up late and is flustered, but in some way the person doesn't have a control over themselves. And so you want to try to get there early, know where you're going. If you have to take a test drive to get there, make sure you know where you're going, get there on time so that you can calm down. Use the restroom, deep breathing, have a glass of water or a cup of coffee. It's in the morning, and calm yourself down. All right, so here, number one, you show up completely a mess. Your clothes are a mess. They are wrinkled, they are dirty, they are held together by safety pins, some big obvious clothing problem. You should be prepared and be neat and clean and wrinkle-free and hair combed and freshly showered and tasteful makeup, and go in there regardless of the position. Maybe it's a dirty, grimy job, but on your interview, clean up and go in there so that you're presentable. And by the same token, don't go overboard on the perfume. So you don't want to stink bad and you don't want to stink good, which both are kind of bad. All right. Number two, you're offering information as to why you shouldn't get the job. Some people think about or worry about a particular quality, a failing, some reason that you're concerned that they're going to uncover so that you don't get the job. Now, I'm not talking about lying or that you've lied on your application or your resume, or that it's some reason that obviously disqualifies you. For example, it's a driving job and you don't have a driver's license, or your license was suspended because you got a DUI. Not something like that, but some other qualification that you just are worried about, that you don't have enough experience in somewhere, or you have some other factors that are going to cause you to not get the job, and you blurt it out. You need to keep control of yourself and answer the questions and put your best foot forward. Some people focus on the worst outcome, and it blurts right out of their mouth. So do some exercise of yourself to not let that happen. You don't want that to happen. The next, number three, goes along with that, but this one, there are rules that employers cannot ask in the U.S. that they cannot ask you about. For example, your age. For example, if you're pregnant. For example, your marital status, the number of children, where you live, personal things like that, medical conditions. There are certain things that we cannot ask as employers. And so many people volunteer. They volunteer it. And then now it's going to be a factor that can be used, to evaluate your application. So there are reasons that those questions can't be asked. And so you want to be familiar with those, and you don't want to volunteer that. That's not going to help you. And then the next way that you can blow your interview is by talking about personal things, and what I mean here is in a fashion that this person, you're trying to make them your friend. You might make them your friend, but you won't get the job that way. Focus on the job, focus on the company, ask questions that are pertinent to the position that you're applying for. Talk about how your experience, it might not be in that particular industry, but if you're applying for this job, you should have some type of professional, educational, or other life experience that applies, that you can relate to the interview person so that it shows that you're a strong candidate for this job. You don't want to say, I have no experience, just hire me, please, 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 I need any job. That's not going to work. You need to tie your experience into that particular job and avoid what you did the night before, what you did over the weekend, what's going to happen on vacation, and random conversation to try to get someone to like you. Because usually the person you're interviewing with is not going to make the final decision, and when all they've talked to you about is your weekend, your summer vacation, or your last position, they're not going to have any real good information to go on to distinguish you from the other candidates, and more importantly, to show why you should get this job. So I hope that these tips are helpful to you as you go out there. It applies for people of any age, some people who are just interviewing for their first job, some people who are back out in the market and haven't been out looking for a job forever, and then also some people who are changing what they do. They want to have a changed career. So they have a big, long list of all kinds of accomplishments, but now they want to go into a different area. Just because your job was assigned a certain label doesn't mean you're not qualified to move over into this other industry. You just need to look a little bit carefully at what you did in a different way, and I'm sure you'll be able to come up with the qualifications and the relatable experience that will help you get that job. I hope this was helpful to you. Please feel free to leave comments or any questions that you have. If you want to know about our other videos, please, the easiest way is to subscribe, or you can follow us on Facebook or Twitter. I'm Michelle, and I'll see you next time.